It's a key question, of course, because we have many choices in MS for relapsing remitting patients. And we need to consider many criteria: the efficacy of the drug, the safety, or some specific reason according to the patient. For example, she wants to be pregnant or not, for example, in a young female. So concerning the efficacy, we have data definitely convincing concerning the efficacy of teriflunomide in relapsing MS patients. However, probably considering the impact of the drug on the immune system, it's not an immunosuppressant really. You know, it inhibits the proliferation of active lymphocytes. So it's not a depleting drug. So I think the most ideal candidate patients are mild to moderate relapsing remitting MS concerning the severity. Probably not if the patient has severe relapse with a high T2 lesion load from the onset with sustained activity on MRI. Probably not a good candidate for teriflunomide. But with all the other patients, I think yes, it could be a good choice. And we have no specific guidelines in Europe, but as you know probably, we have some guidelines, not a consensus, but guidelines by the Danish neurologist, but also the German neurologist, and really put teriflunomide at the top of the third choice for relapsing MS patients. And concerning women, we have data, reassuring data concerning the pregnancy and the risk for the fetus or the child. However, it's contraindicated in female who want to be pregnant, of course. So we ask the question, for example, do you plan for a pregnancy in the next year, sorry. And if the patient answers yes, possibly, teriflunomide is not a good drug. But with this exception, I think there is no group of patients really the drug is contraindicated, I think. So it's a large panel of patients, of course. We have a lot of data concerning the safety and the long-term safety of teriflunomide in MS. And also, as you know, teriflunomide is the active drug of leflunomide used in arthritis for more than 2 decades. And so it's the same safety, in fact, and we have maybe reassuring data for the long term. But in MS, we have a very large clinical program in MS with teriflunomide, considering the phase 2. Almost 15 years ago, the 2 pivotal phase 3 trials, TEMSO and TOWER, the extensions, and we have very large cohorts of patients in real life. And putting together, indeed, we can say that the drug is really safe. Really safe. There is no, for the long term, increased risk of malignancies, for example. No risk of opportunistic infections. We have no PML, to the best of our knowledge, in MS. And also, in common infections, it's not really an immunosuppressant. So there is no increased risk of common infections. The immunity is largely preserved using teriflunomide. So we have now for patients very reassuring data. We have also many data concerning the switch from first DMT to teriflunomide, not only with interferon beta, but after glatiramer acetate, for example, or other oral drugs, for many reasons, for lack of efficacy, or for tolerability, or safety issues, a switch to teriflunomide. And maybe the only point to check is lymphocyte count, maybe. A blood test only, and of course to be sure that if a woman is not pregnant, for example, but it's very easy. There is no specific washout period after. It's very easy. One day after, you can switch from interferon beta to teriflunomide. We have many data for that in pivotal trials, but also in the real life, in experience with a large cohort of patients called TeriPro. It's a 1,000 patients included in TerryPro with at least 1 year of follow-up, and we have so most of the patients switch from injectables to teriflunomide, not only naive patients, so no specific signal, very easy, very convenient.